folks, Ray here, Survival for Christians, and what I'm doing is I am jarring up my sauerkraut that I've made. I've made sauerkraut utilizing a Harsch pot. It's called Harsch pot, and I'm using a process called lactic acid fermentation. And what you do is you put your vegetables and so forth in this pot, and what happens is after a while lactic acid starts building up, and that becomes the preservative. That's what pickles your cabbage, your carrots. What I've got here, I've got some carrots, I've got some cauliflower, I've got some Napa cabbage in this, I've got some regular cabbage in this, and what I've done is let it sit for about 6 to 8 weeks, and now it's delicious tasting sauerkraut, and or a pickled vegetable medley or something, if you would say. But here, let me get the camera and let you look at it. In here, as you can see, is the sauerkraut. And what you do is you put your cabbage, your carrots, and so forth in this pot, put it up with a salt brine, and like I said, the natural bacteria is what creates the lactic acid. And the wonderful thing about lactic acid, as opposed to other pickling methods, is that lactic acid has probiotics. That means that it helps your tummy develop the positive bacteria that it needs for proper digestion. Now, another thing, and this is why I am pickling right now, or why I'm making kraut right now and so forth, is that lactic acid sauerkraut or lactic acid pickling is also a known cure or a known preventative means to stop the flu. And so in every society where they've had lactic acid pickling or fermentation processes, the flu has really been down. In the early 1900s, when the Spanish flu was taking place, they noticed that in countries such as Germany, Hungary, Poland, that utilized lactic acid processing or ate a lot of sauerkraut, suffered very few consequences of the flu. And so here you can see this is the name of the company that makes these. But this is a 10-liter Harsch pot. But lactic acid processing is it's also, I'm getting the lid here so I can show you how this works. But it's probiotic, and it helps with digestion and other things. But how this pot works, as opposed to other pickling crocks and so forth, is that this lid sits on top of the lip here, and as you can see, this lip is just a little bit higher than the wall, and this lid sits on top of it, and you fill this area up with water, and what it does is it acts as a vapor trap, and the gases build up in here, CO2 and so forth, preventing oxygen from getting in and spoiling the pickling process. And so this helps produce pickles all on its own. You don't have to really add anything except basically a salt brine. But it's a great way to create preserved foods. And what you do is, or what I'm doing is, I'm just putting it in jars, and then you cool it down. And these jars will basically, stay for a year or so in this lactic acid or this pickling solution. So I'm using the solution itself to can, quote unquote, the sauerkraut that I've made, or the vegetable medley that I've made. And what you do is then put it in the refrigerator, and it stops the fermentation process. And so it won't continue fermenting or anything like that. But if you did leave it out and put it on the shelves, the fermentation process would continue in the jars, and actually your jars would explode then. This is the same style or same process that kimchi is made in. And the reason kimchi is different is through the spices and things. But you can do all kinds of things with this Harsch pot. You can make pickles, you can make sauerkraut, you can do all kinds of things. I'm going to link you to a website where I got my Harsch pot, and I think that I can actually, if you're interested in purchasing this, pass you on a coupon so that you can get it at a discounted price. I know the person who sells this, I'm not getting any kickback or anything like that, but when I send you this website, I believe the coupon code is VIP customers, and I believe she'll give you something like 5 or 10% off of the pot. This pot here cost us, Tracy got this for Christmas for me 2 years ago, and at that time it cost, I believe, just over $100 or just under $100. I believe the prices are pretty much still the same. This is a 10-liter pot and holds quite a bit. And but here, real quick. So Tracy, you're eating my fresh sauerkraut that I just made. What do you think?
I like it.
Good?
Good. Mm-hmm.
Yep. How does it taste?
It's really good. It's not overpowering or anything. It's just got a good mild flavor.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. Is if you're interested in pickling and making sauerkraut, your homemade sauerkraut, go out and get one of these Harsch pots. Because, and again, the reason that I have one is because of the lactic acid processing and the probiotics, but the primary reason is to help prevent the flu. Families who eat lactic acid-based fermentation products usually don't get the flu, or it helps cure the flu. Now, another thing too is that the juice in here, you could actually drink the juice too, and it's supposed to help with ulcers and also preventing the flu and then other stomach problems. So this is an excellent product. Great, go out and get it. It's easy to use. You cut up your veggies, cut up your stuff, put a salt brine in there, and then the pot does everything else. It's just nature doing its work. But lactic acid processing, folks, the Harsch pot. Check it out. Go get one, and because flu season is coming.